Hello, everyone. You're watching Newcastle United Live and Times YouTube channel. My name's Rob, and today I'm joined by Paul, Len, and Owen to discuss Newcastle's fantastic 4-1 victory at St James's Park yesterday. So, without wasting any more time, Len, I'll pass it over to you, and you can give your thoughts and opinions on the result yesterday, mate.
Well, I think you've summed it up there with the word fantastic. I think that's the best way to describe it. Going into the game, bearing in mind most people I spoke to would be more than happy with a draw, but to get a 4-1 win was, as you say, fantastic. First 10 minutes or so was sort of backwards and forwards, very even, competitive, good start of the game. In fact, the game itself was excellent. Regardless of the result, it was a really good game. And then, obviously, we get the first goal 10 or 15 minutes into the game. Miley getting off to a great start, feeds Isaac, he scores the goal, and just shows you how much we've missed having a striker on the pitch, because he took his goal really, really well. The game settled down quite well, but then again, about 10 minutes later, I don't think Trips had much option but to give away the free kick. And Raheem Sterling was, I don't know whether Pope should have done better, but I don't think he even saw it. It somehow managed to get it up and over for the equaliser. It was a truly fantastic free kick, I think.
It was,
yeah. About halfway through the first half, Joe Linton, as he did a couple of games ago, he missed an open goal. And the more you look at that, I've seen it a couple of times since. I've watched Match of the Day 2 or 3 times, as probably we all have. And it's just hard to know how he missed that chance. And I thought this is going to be a pivotal moment in this match, because he cannot afford to miss opportunities like that. And then they missed a couple of chances. Pope made a couple of good saves, and half-time came and it was 1-1. And I think, that mine and your prediction, Rob, was looking pretty safe at that point. And little did we know in the second half, things were going to change quite dramatically. Gordon, who was outstanding, man of the match for me, never stopped running all day. He crosses the ball in, and our captain, Jamal Lascelles, scores the goal to take us into a 2-1 lead. And that, I think it's 2 or 3 years since he last scored a goal, I believe. But
2 years.
Yeah, so fantastic for him. Then Joe Linton makes it 3-1. Silva showing his age. I think, Paul, you mentioned on the previous show about Silva's age. I mean, he's nearly as old as you, I think. And
he's older than me.
It shows age. I mean, he just gave the ball away for no reason whatsoever. Don't know what happened there. And of course, Joe Linton was in there, back of the net. Easy peasy lemon squeezy at this point. And then Shaw again, who was fantastic. He comes through. He has a chance. Around about that time, I think that's when Reece James was sent off for pulling a player back. So that was a second yellow. So that was a red card. The game was already won by then, which was fantastic. Isaac goes off. Richie comes on. And Anthony Gordon, how good was he for that goal? He gets the ball. He manages to get it. All you see is blue shirts everywhere. And he somehow manages to score. Absolutely fantastic. And then it was just a number of different substitutions, players I'd never even heard of coming on the pitch. And it was just
good for the academy, though, Len, wasn't it? Good for the
fantastic
academy.
I mean, that bench, bench having 3 players from the academy, 3 goalkeepers, at least they're getting a bit of experience on a match day now. And then, of course, the final whistle, 4-1. And to be honest, we were well worth that win. It gives us great confidence going into the PSG game. We've got no problems against Man United next weekend. And finally, on a point to mention, I don't know if anybody was watching it or whether it was apparent at the match, but I don't remember VAR being mentioned at all during the game, which was fantastic. So there was lots of activity, lots of incidents, and VAR, as far as the TV coverage is concerned, was never mentioned. So a truly outstanding day. And now I'm going to pause for a breath and let somebody else talk.
Good assessment, Len. Yeah, it was a cracking game. I thought, cracking game, Right, Owen, you were at the match yesterday. Do you want to give us your perspective from being at the game, how you saw it?
Just going back, Len, the Joe Linton chance. Did the ref not blow for a free kick? Or was it... I mean, I was on the end. I was on the gallery.
No.
So would it, obviously...
Yeah, would have counted.
I would have counted. It is a bad miss, actually, isn't it? It was similar to the one against Dortmund away, wasn't it? The header away there.
Well, actually, if you were at the match, it probably didn't seem such a bad miss. But watching it back again from the camera angle behind the goal, well, you know, that was a goal all day. But not to worry.
It was easier to actually score the goal than to miss.
Yeah.
Well, same as Dortmund, but I thought the ref had blown it for a free kick like that. That must have got that wrong.
Straight off a corner, only he sort of spun round the man. He done well to get the space, really. Spun off him and he was totally unmarked. That's what made it. I couldn't understand how he didn't even hit the target.
Yeah.
Not like he was putting them off, but anyway.
But yeah, Len, I think that's really fair. So, I mean, just going back to the preview that we had, you know, we talked around whether we thought Isak would start, and obviously he did. And you know, you called that one in terms of starting. I mean, I didn't think he would, and I don't know whether he was forced into playing him because obviously, you know, there was late withdrawals of Longstaff and Willock. Really surprising, wasn't it? I think that Willock's got a reoccurrence of his Achilles problem, which is a bit of a downer, really, because you know he was hitting the straps, wasn't he? He was coming back, he was looking good, but yeah, in terms of team selection, I still thought we had enough. I think Len's right in terms of the game itself. It was brilliant. It was end to end. The first, you know, until we scored, it was Chelsea looked dangerous on the break. They looked like they had some clever players. I thought we contained them well. Just in terms of, I mean, you could have picked anyone to be man of the match. I just thought everyone was 8, 9, 10 out of 10. I thought we're all excellent. Miley looked 100% better in that Longstaff role compared to when he was playing in the sort of 6 role, the Bruno role at Bournemouth. I thought that he looked more established, he looked calm. And I think the pass that he put through for Isak's first goal, I think that Howes went on record, hasn't he, said that the majority of people and young players would have shot, and he sort of kept his composure just to slide it through. And you know, Isak's got a great finish, and I think that lad's got the potential. I know you know we're talking about Wilson and stuff like that in terms of is he the second top scorer now under Shearer in terms of the Premier League era or whatever? I can't remember what the stat is, but if Isak stays with us sort of 8 to 10 years, he'll be up there. I'm not saying he's going to break Shearer's record, by the way, but you know, he's so relaxed, so composed. He's dangerous. He works the channel. He's quick. He's got all attributes that you'd expect, you know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he'll go. But just going back to the game, Miley, I thought he was excellent again. I actually thought I disagreed with Len, even though you could have picked Gordon as man of the match. I thought it was Almiron. I thought Almiron was outstanding.
Actually,
game for
good point.
Best game for a long time.
The way he was running, he looked taller, stronger. He looked like he's really turned. You know, he was here, there, and everywhere. In fact, I was watching it thinking, is that really him playing? But you're right. I think you summed it up just before when you said there's 3 or 4 or 5 players could have got man of the match, depending on which viewpoint you've got. But yeah, he was excellent.
Could have easily been. I mean, Gordon. In fact, Bruno, and I know I keep banging the Bruno drum because I think he's so important to the way that we play. But you know, you look at Miley yesterday, and I keep raising this point in terms of he makes everyone around him look better. I mean, if we won the team, I think it'd make us look like excellent players. He's that good of a player in terms of bringing the best out of everyone, you know. So. But yeah, I mean, you know, in terms of the game itself, we deserve winners. I think that as soon as we went, I thought it was pretty even at 1-1. I think you're right, Len. I think that you know, we could have probably had no complaints at that stage of the game had it finished. I think it was even keels, but you know, in terms of going forward and get that goal, and then obviously Joe Linton's goal has come at such a, you know, really sort of it's come at the best time, hasn't it? When you go 2-1 up and then you go 3-1 up, that's pretty much the game sort of done and dusted. But fantastic win, and you're right, it takes us into Paris on Tuesday with a bit of confidence. I think, and the best thing about yesterday, I'll just finish on this, is the fact that there was no injuries, even though Gordon that when he went down early doors, when, you know, you just could feel the energy sap out of everyone in the stadium thinking, oh, no, not another injury, you know. So, but I think that's key, the fact that we've got no more injuries. We finished that game strongly. We've beat a really, well, I'm saying a really good, a decent Chelsea team with some, well, they've got a World Cup winner, haven't they? That Enzo, he's a 100 million plus player and stuff like that. So, you know, fantastic. It takes them to Tuesday on a high. So I am over the moon now. Excellent.
Thank you. Paul, what was your take yesterday?
Well, on that point, what Owen's just said, I think in the 2 games that Miley's bossed that Fernandez, hasn't he, in 2 games, and he was 106 million. Is
that what he was? 106?
Something like 106 million pound. But obviously, when I seen the team sheet yesterday, I thought the first 11, I thought we've got enough. But when I seen the bench and I seen 3 goalkeepers, I thought, oh God. And well, 4 keepers in the squad, really. I think what's really stretched. Yeah, you've got Dummett on there, then you had like 3 academy lads, and then Matt Ritchie. That's how you know you're getting. And obviously, Kraft was ill, they said. But when the match started, I think we started quite well and got the opening goal, which the lads have said, maybe that was a fantastic pass, though, wasn't it? It reminded me of Longstaff's pass at Liverpool last season for Isaac when he just slid him in, and it was a similar finish. You get what I think is you give the keeper the eyes, and the keeper went left, and he hit it to the keeper's right. That's why he went the other way. I think he gives the goalkeeper the eyes. Obviously, we can't see that, but top quality strikers do that, don't they? And he was so calm in front of goal where possibly someone like Joe Linton would have snatched at it and hit it wide, wouldn't it? But after that, I think it was soft, the free kick. He did go down rather easy, but I think Trippier did sort of push him, didn't he? And obviously, on the commentary, they're saying Sterling never ever scores a free kick, and then he pops up and scores a free kick. I couldn't believe it. A ones each, I think, was probably a fair result half time, and then second half we started pressing. They didn't really have a go with it, to be honest. Pope was pretty redundant in the second half, and then we got the 2 goals in about 60 seconds, and it killed the game off. And then obviously the sending off. I actually looked at Twitter at half time, and some lad was saying, "You're watching the second half. Reece James is going to get 2 yellow cards and get sent off," and he did. Because he was getting hot. He was having a little bit of a go at Jason Tyndall on the sideline. He was getting himself revved up. And I don't know if you noticed, but he looked like he was carrying a bit of beef. Reece James, he used to be quite mean and quick, didn't he? But he looked like bust a blood vessel at one stage when he was running doing that. Right?
Paul, I think the good thing, Paul, sorry to interrupt there. I think the good thing about the timing of what happened in the match was the great thing was that the sending off, the game was already won by then. And then
you can't say it was the sending off that
exactly, because quite often it'll happen the other way around. If things had happened just slightly different there, they could say, well, we're down to 10 men and this type of thing, but we'd already won the game before he stupidly got himself sent off. So, that's a point to make, really.
I think their frailties came to show as well, didn't they? You could see they were a team that early on in the season, you get a couple of goals up against them, then their heads just go down. For me, they're a team of individuals.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Got good individual players going forward, but they don't seem to have like a structure or a style of play to me.
A system.
And I think they've got a lot of good players.
I think they're similar to Man United, and that's why I might end up eating my words, but that's why I'm so confident now going into the next league game against Man United, because I think Man United are very much like that. I think they have got some excellent individuals, but no style of play, as you say, and very disjointed. It's like a team of, sometimes they play like they don't know quite, they're not quite sure what they're going to do next. And I think the same with Chelsea. So I think it could be a similar game next weekend.
I think they've got a lot up for top 4 now, haven't they, Chelsea? Like, one of the about 7 or 8 behind us already, and probably about 12 behind top 4. So I cannot see them coming back. That defence is all over the shop. I like that bit in the first half as well. When Silva went down, he tried to do that little roll. He sort of hand out for Gordon to get him up, and then Gordon didn't put his hand out. He sort of pretended he hadn't put it out. And then obviously Gordon's goal later on was fantastic. He just sort of there was 3 or 4 Chelsea players around him, and he just shot quickly, and the keeper didn't really have time to get down. And by the time he got down, he dived after the ball was in the net, I think.
I mean, I'm delighted for Gordon because the jury was out on whether he was a good sign or not, and I really wasn't convinced. And I'm really pleased he's proved me wrong.
They were after Gordon or Mudryk, and they decided to pay, what was it, 70 or double the price of Gordon for Mudryk. It just looks like something off did not take that in the 90s, done he? Him? I don't think he knows how to pick. I don't know how he knows how to kick a football. Obviously, Rob, you look.
Paul, can I just ask, have you had a pint at lunchtime?
No. I'm just happy.
Top form.
Yeah. But
these phrases, take that bust that blood vessel. I'm thinking, what the hell's coming next?
At the end as well, what I really would have done to take the piss on, if I had 3 more subs, I would have brought all 3 goalkeepers on.
Can you imagine that?
That would have rubbed salt in the wound with a keeper tops just running the boot. It would have been brilliant. But it was a fantastic win, and I just hope it sets you up for Tuesday. I think the gloss was took off when we heard that Willock had gone down with the aggravation of his Achilles in training on Friday. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm hoping he's okay. it's not too bad, but Achilles, it's always a bad one, isn't it?
I heard through the
No.
grapevine, apparently they're sending them off to a specialist or something, so
Aye.
that doesn't look good, does it?
There's no grapevine, Rob. That's exactly what they're doing.
Aye. Well,
I
heard that news
Harvey Barnes will be back soon
a while
anyway.
ago.
I think Harvey Barnes.
late last night.
Barnes and Longstaff will be back for Man United. I think Tuesday will come too early for him. But all in all, a brilliant win with the players we had out, and it was just home form's just magnificent. We're good. We've just got to start doing it away from home now.
Yeah.
Did you see that in the paper? They were talking about our subs. Chelsea subs that were brought on. They brought 5 subs on, £233 million the cost. We brought 5
16.
subs on. Total cost £12 million.
12. I heard 16. It's unbelievable.
About
Isn't
16 on the bench, 16 million on the bench.
Well, sorry. What's a few million between friends, eh?
Exactly.
Goes back to the point you were making, Len, before around, like the team individuals and stuff like that. It's like, I think that even, and I do find it hard to argue with other fans of other clubs, or like, what they're seeing is that they've got better individuals in terms of like individual players, like, obviously price tag, like international caps, all that type of stuff. But I think it's testament to the togetherness of what Newcastle have, and how's got them playing in the same way. I mean, these lads who are coming in, they've been sitting on the bench and obviously training and stuff like that, watching what the expectations are, and how I use the example where Dummett comes in for the League Cup games against Man City and Man United. Now he's put in like accomplished performances, like as if he's played there all his life at centre half, and like, he's not putting a foot wrong. And what I think, I mean, there's 2 things. One, it's down to the level of intensity of training. I think that the players look fitter, but also they're organised as well. And everyone that comes into that team understands the job, and that there's that togetherness to understand what it is that they're in the team for, how we click, and the dynamics completely right. And I think that other clubs actually envy us for that. They might have individual players, but collectively, in terms of what Howe's doing, I just think we look like a proper team. And it's just.
I tell you what, Owen, that's a really good point about that, because when Lascelles came in, he hadn't played a match for about a year, and you wouldn't think he had been away. He played Man City, wasn't it? He came straight in. And Dummett, he hadn't played for a year and a half or something. Slotted straight in. And him and Kraft, centre-halves against Man U, you would have thought they'd been playing together for years.
Exactly, yeah.
And they never tired. They never tired, did they?
No, and I think people question, why did we keep these players? You mentioned Dummett, Lascelles and Matt Ritchie. And you just think now, if we had let them go in the transfer window, nobody would have questioned it. And then, Craigie, what would that bench have looked like yesterday? And even Ritchie, when he came on yesterday, once again, just looks fresh as a daisy. Yes, he hasn't got any pace. He never had any, but he still comes on as if
he talks, Len, doesn't he? He's a talker.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's an organiser.
He's part of the leadership group, isn't he? How keeps talking about the leadership group, and he's in there. I mean, one of the players we haven't mentioned, and again, I think he's been our player of the season, is Fabian Schär. I think he's been outstanding every single game. I mean, I'd go as far as saying, and this might sound far-fetched, but I would put him up there as probably being one of our best, if not the best, Premier League centre-half that we've had. If you look at his record, I know that, when he first came and Bruce couldn't get him in the team and stuff like that, but the levels of his performances at the minute are so high, and it's
actually. I was on social media today, and that question was asked, and it sort of caught me by unawares. Really, is Shaw one of the best centre halves we've ever had? I think he plays better when Botman's not playing. I think he takes that leadership. I think when he plays alongside Botman's like the senior sort of, even though he's younger, he's sort of the senior, the better player, and I think Shaw sort of slots in alongside him. Now it's him and Lascelles. I think it's made him sure to be a better player again. I think he sort of takes the lead for the whole defence, and he stands up taller, like when Botman's not playing. So when Botman's fit, we're laughing, aren't we?
Yeah. I think just what you were saying there, if you notice when you watch the games now, when Lascelles plays with Shaw, they do their very best not to give Lascelles the ball at the back. If you watch the try, like Shaw will come back on himself, he'll go to the left back, or he'll go back to the keeper. I mean, they do give it to Lascelles occasionally, but they know he's not as good with the ball as Botman. They will trust Botman more, wouldn't they? But I think it's testament to Lascelles that we haven't actually missed Botman.
Was Lascelles at fault for the first?
Yeah, I mean, he was at fault for the goal. He lost the ball. And they broke. Yeah, he lost the ball. You can't dribble. Just do what you can do with it. Don't try to be fancy.
Yeah, I remember watching that moment and thinking that is annoying. What I would expect from Lascelles, which is unfair, really. But that's the type of mistakes would know that he's maybe capable of doing. But you're right, the other defenders alongside him are taking it. But Lascelles has been outstanding. There's no doubt about it. We haven't missed Botman, and it's hard to believe really, because when Botman was injured, I thought, oh, hey, we're snookered here. But Lascelles has come in and he's transformed his career, I think, but just by these 6 or 7 games he's played.
And we haven't mentioned Livramento either. I thought he was fantastic.
Another great game.
Yeah, and he was dropping. You watch, he was dropping into centre mid quite a bit.
Right, lads, I'm just going to have to swift things up a bit. We'll just quickly move on to Tuesday, the PSG game. How do you see this one going? Anyone? Len, how do you see this one going?
I'm much more, as I'm sure everybody is, a lot more confident. It's going to be one of our toughest games of the season. Every game's tough when you look at the fixtures coming up. I think we'll go there with positivity. And I think on that basis, we'll get a positive result. I don't know exactly what that'll be. If you're asking for a prediction, I might as well give you one.
I would like a score prediction because I like this bit.
One, then we'll not be overconfident. I think it'll be 2-2.
2-2. Okay. Paul?
I think it's going to be tough. They stuffed Monaco by 5 the other night, didn't they? And they're going to be up for this game against us. But then again, the last few weeks, they've sort of crumbled, haven't they? So they're going to have to win this, really. And we am I right in saying we would have to win this or not to stay in it? Or would a draw be enough?
I think a draw. Is it not a draw and then we'll beat Milan? I don't know.
But then we'd be banking on Dortmund getting beaten.
Then you're relying on other teams, aye?
Yes.
Yeah, because Dortmund could win the group. I think if we can possibly get a draw and then, because it would go on, we're head-to-head, we've already beat them 4-1, haven't we? So then PSG could probably miss out and Dortmund might win the group. So there's a lot of permutations at the minute, isn't there? But if you're asking us now, I think we'll get beat. I think we'll get beat 2-1.
2-1. Okay. Owen?
I think what the good thing about Tuesday is the fact that because the group's so open and, you know, you could tie yourself in knots in terms of how the scenarios that could happen, who needs to beat who and, you know, what have you. But the good thing is that PSG have to come out and beat us. And I think that plays into our hands a little bit. I think that'll make the game more open. It'll, you know, we like to play on the counter and what have you. I think it's going to be tough, don't get us wrong, because the O's one, don't they? They'll still be seething after one.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stay on the positive side, and I think we're going to sneak it 2-1. That's my prediction.
Right. This is so tough. This I want to say we'll win, but I don't know. I'm going to go for a draw, ones each.
I think if we had a full strength squad, we would win. The injuries might take it with the bench. We haven't even got Richie or Kraft there, not even in the squad, are they?
I think they'll want to prove a point because, like you just said, Owen, they'll be still stinging from being up here. So I think they'll come up with they'll want to humiliate us. I think so, but we'll wait and see what happens. Right, lads, I'm going to have to push off because I've got a few things I need to sort out here. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and the rest of the lads, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to do are you guys available on Wednesday to do a review show?
Yeah.
Wednesday, possibly, mate. I'll let you know. I don't know if I've got rehearsals then. I'd have to check with Dave.
Right. Say about 5 o'clock. Is that okay?
Yeah, don't you would go and we'll sort it with Dave. You'll be fine for the podcast.
I'll have to check.
Well, listen, that's not the concern. The concern is, are you going to be finished your overtime by then, Anders? That's the concern.
Don't you worry, I'll be okay for then.
Right. Okay, very good. Right, okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Like I say, on behalf of myself and the rest of the lads, we'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye now.
See you later, boys.